Email has been declared dead more times than we can count, but inside really strong e-coms brands, it still drives 25 to 40% of total revenue, and it is often the highest margin of revenue too. So if email isn't contributing at least a quarter of your revenue, something isn't optimized. So we are back, episode 19. Welcome, team.
Hello.
It's good to have you back.
I know, it feels like it's been a while.
It has been a while. We've had Christmas, we've had New Year, we've come back, and it's already February.
Yeah.
And quite near the end.
I know.
Yeah,
I
literally.
know.
It's actually March.
Yeah, I know. And we've had more rain than we can count, I feel.
Oh, literally.
February is my least favourite time of year.
Least favourite time.
Weather's bad. And I feel like it feels really long.
But it's actually the shortest month.
Yeah, but it just feels so long.
Make it make sense.
So, look, today, I'm not going to alarm you, but we are here to talk about my favourite topic.
I don't know what it is.
I feel like I could just talk the whole way through, but we've got some really interesting things to touch on today.
Yeah.
Going into 2026, and when you think about quarter one, quarter two, you think about all of those marketing activities, email is a massive driver for that. So whether that's flows, whether that's segmentation, list growth, is it still the most profitable channel? I think we're going to constantly bring up that topic every time we do a pod. And I want to break all of that down because things have changed from 25 into 26.
Yeah.
I think as we get into the busier months, so quarter two, and then think about quarter four, again, things are changing there as well. So should we get started?
Let's do it.
Where should we start?
Where do you want to start? You are the email queen.
So I think we start with why email is so misunderstood. I think that's a really good place to kick it off because even now, and you know, I'm probably like 10 or 12 years into my marketing career. Even now, I have conversations with founders around, but why do I need to do email?
Yeah.
And I guess it's that misconception piece around, you know, I've got all of these marketing channels. Why email?
Yeah.
So, Laura, why email?
Because you own your audience.
Yes.
It's all yours.
Let's start there.
Yeah.
So what do you mean by that? Owned audience versus rented?
So in terms of like when you think of social media, it's something you can physically see. Like everyone can see it and you could have tens of thousands of followers and it looks amazing. But Instagram could go tomorrow. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, we all hope it doesn't, but like it could just be turned off or everyone could go to a different platform or controversially, it's so much easier to get cancelled on things like social media. So your followers could just drop and therefore your reach to audience is gone.
Yeah.
Whereas email marketing, once they're in your database, yes, okay, they can unsubscribe and things like that. But that is your database. It is literally all yours. So you have full control over that. You can see the data, you can dive into it, and they're not just going to disappear tomorrow.
And when you say the platforms own that, just explain that a little bit more. So, for example, if Instagram did go down, what do you mean by that? You lose your followers because they would turn the platform off.
Yeah. So, for example, Instagram crashes, dies, you know, your followers go with that. Like, they still might know your brand. It's not saying that everyone's going to forget the brand, but you could come back tomorrow if Instagram then restarted and have 0 followers and you've got to build from the ground up again.
Yeah. Okay. So we talk about a lot, and Phoebe, we talk about this a lot when we're as a team and we're talking about client projects. Email is a revenue engine, and we talk about the word engine a lot because it is an engine. If you use email with other marketing channels and it works really nicely together and in synergy together and it performs really well, that is where you find those sweet spots of gold, right? So when we talk about that revenue engine and we talk about high converting flows, so automations or flows, what is the number one best flow in email marketing that we work on all the time with our clients?
Welcome flow.
Exactly. So just explain a little bit about what is a welcome flow.
So that's kind of where you would introduce your audience to your brand. So it's where they come in and then they can find about who you are, what you're doing, and just it's like that soft piece.
Yeah.
For you to give them coming from, a brand perspective.
Yeah. And when we say it's a high converting flow, on average, it should be a 10 to 20% of your total revenue when you're thinking about your email flows in terms of what they're generating. But the sort of premise of a welcome flow is to get people to purchase once. So yes, we want to nurture them. Absolutely, Phoebe. That is so important, but we want them to buy from us. And the tactics that we use for that, Laura,
Often are like a 10% discount or like kind of a freebie or some kind of incentive. Obviously, we really push the fact that you shouldn't just run your marketing on discounts, but that welcome flow is such an easy way. So when people are learning about your brand, to get them in,
it out, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think, again, what we see happens a lot within a welcome flow is, again, how many emails should it be? It could be 1, it could be 4. And if you're using a really strong platform like a Klaviyo, you can test that really well. So again, we always say start with the foundation. So in your welcome flow, start with 1 to 2 emails. When you see things like your open rates and your click rates really high and they're at a really good level, so I'm talking if it's an open rate over 30%, you'd like to think your welcome flow email 1 is 60% on average, purely because if people want the discount, they're going to open
it,
But then as you start to add more emails into that flow and it starts to dilute down, and if you again think about that sort of vertical flow element of it, those emails are going to get less and less and less and less. And I think what's really important is you monitor the data before you just create 4 emails in my welcome flow. You start with the foundations and then you build on it. And that's something actually, I've had 3 client meetings this week and all 3 conversations were, Kate, we've got our flows set up, but I think we're missing something. So it was as easy as, okay, let's look at the data, let's analyse what we've got, let's go backwards before we can go forwards.
Yes, definitely.
And I think that's really, really important when you think about email. Don't go by gut feel, don't go by guesswork, go by what the data tells you.
There's so much data there, isn't there?
Yeah. And I guess as well, think about, and something that I love to think about is these flows are great, these platforms. So MailChimp, Klaviyo, there's loads of other there's loads of other ones out there that you could use, right? But what I will say is you need to start with your customer.
Yeah.
So email can get so disjointed. And again, I've seen so many brands where they've got like 20 flows set up. And I'm like, how does that affect your customer journey? As Laura going into a business, how many touch points has Laura got? So again, think customer first.
Yeah.
Really, really important.
I think it becomes junk, doesn't it, at that point? Because it's just spammy.
Yeah, 100%. And what we know as well going into 2026, or we're now in 2026, is we've got the rise of AI. Everything's getting cleverer. Everything's getting quicker. But what really, really resonates with brands is personalization. So even though it's an automated marketing platform that you can create automation in, the key to that is making sure it's personalized, which is really, really important. So that takes us on to another high converting flow. Laura, second highest converting flow.
Abandoned cart?
Yeah. Well
done. I don't really remember then.
Well done. Yeah. And why is that?
Because it's catching people when they are like kind of ready to be targeted. Like I've really thought about it, and if I'm thinking like, you know, a busy mum doing their shopping on their phone.
Yeah.
They've got that far and they've added it to their cart, and then they'll go, oh no, I've got to go pick the kids up from school or something, and dash off. And then we all have busy lives, you forget. And then there's just that reminder being, oh, you left this behind. And you go, oh, God, I did. Let me go finish my order. And it's just a little reminder, really, isn't it?
Yeah. And what we know and what we see a lot, especially in food and drink, is not one abandoned cart reminder. It's multiple.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's not, you've forgotten this, here's your discount. It's actually, here's what you've forgotten, go back to your basket. And then again, have you forgotten about this? It's, you know, it might be available for another 12 hours. And then if they don't convert, then give them a discount in a third email to say, go back and buy.
Yeah.
So what we see is a 3-sequence abandoned cart performs better than a single. So again,
that makes sense.
Really important to note. Actually, if your first abandoned cart isn't working, you're like, it's not making me any revenue, look at adding more into that sequence. And then the next one, which is a bit of a controversial one, and I've had, again, lots of comments about this flow this week, is your post-purchase flow. So when you're a brand and you go into your Klaviyo account, you look at your flows and you look at them by revenue, which is the most important metric. And you go, oh, my post-purchase flow sits right at the bottom. It's not performing. I'm just going to leave it. Wrong. Your post-purchase flow is your most overlooked revenue driver. So this is where if you've got a heritage brand, if you've got a premium brand, if you've got a high-ticket brand, and your product is something of value, or people spend or have a high AOV,
Yeah.
again, these flows are a great way of getting people from going from 1 order to 2, 2 to 3,
Repeat purchases.
3 to 4.
Yeah.
And again, if you use a platform like Klaviyo, you can siphon off people in different directions versus 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 4 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when it gets really geeky. And I love it as well. But again, it's around, once they've purchased once, what do you want to make them feel
Yeah,
like?
what do you want? Because you're not going to instantly want to buy after you've just
No.
bought something. Like, I don't want to be like, I've just bought it. Don't give me a discount. Don't give me another product. Like, I'm
Yeah.
happy with what I've got. Tell me a little bit about the product I bought. Like,
Yeah.
have them really personalised. So break it down.
Yeah, like usage, recipes, like
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
of how
And
you
depending
can-
on the product as well, right?
Oh,
So
definitely.
if it's tea or coffee, or if it's popcorn, how quickly do you consume those products?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can test that as
Yeah,
well.
like if it is a bag of tea, you're not going to use it within a week.
Yeah.
So I don't need that email to be like, oh, do you need to buy more? Because I'm like, no, I've only had 3 cups of tea.
Exactly that. And again, in a platform like Klaviyo, you can look at the average order time between how often your customers are going to purchase, what's the time lapse in the middle. So all of that data is really vital when you think about your post-purchase flow. But I am calling it out right here, right now. It is the most underutilized flow, and it could be one of the biggest revenue drivers if done properly.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of work that needs to go into it. Like we've just said, time delays, I think offers on incentives, I think, how do you want your customers to feel? Also, when you think about your post-purchase flow, do reviews go into it?
Mm-hmm.
Does your loyalty program go into it?
Yeah.
How does all that feed into it? Because again, if you've got your reviews platform sat over here in a separate email,
Yeah.
in its own platform and it's running on its own, then you've got a loyalty program like Mention Me, Loyalty Lion, Smile.io, whatever it is, they're sending their own emails. Then you've got your post-purchase flow. That's potentially 3 different touch points
Yeah.
at multiple times for one customer. Overwhelming.
Yes,
So for me, going into 2026, post-purchase flow is the number one flow that brands need to be focusing on.
Interesting fact there.
Bold fact.
Yeah, bold
really
statement. Yeah.
And the reason I say it is because repeat customers, right?
Yeah.
If we think about acquisition, so acquiring a new customer, you have to 9 times out of 10 use ad spend.
Yeah.
Turn on ads. We do a lot of ads. If you think about what it costs to get them in, once they're in, what's happening to them?
Yeah.
They're gold. They're
Yeah.
in your brand. They love you already. They've tried your product.
Yeah.
And we know that repeat customers spend on average 65 to 70% more than new customers.
Which is incredible, isn't it, really?
So that's a sweet spot of money right
that's
there.
amazing.
I think once you've also tried one product, if you're new to a brand, you can very easily, if you do like it, you very easily convinced to then go to more.
And
Yeah.
especially with like gifting brands,
Yeah.
you're way more likely
And
to
then
be like,
people's
oh, I
birthdays,
bought from them
Christmas.
last year for Christmas. I actually am going to keep going back because, it's my auntie's
And
birthday.
then someone else says it's a lovely
Easter.
gift.
Yeah, then you're really loyal to the brand. I think getting that new customer, it's great because obviously you want to keep growing.
Yeah.
But it's that case of actually, how have you nurtured your retained customers? I think
Yeah.
that's really important.
Really, really important. And also, if you think about those customers, right, and we think about that sort of omni-channel marketed approach, right? They have signed up to your database, they've bought one product, they're in your world, they're a sweet spot of gold. They will also be looking at you on lots of other channels as well.
They're invested in your world now, aren't
Yeah, they absolutely are. They'll be liking your social posts, which again, really important. They'll be showing up on your YouTube channel, whatever it is. They then could become your brand advocates.
Yeah.
So if anybody takes anything away from today, I think it needs to be post-purchase flow.
Yeah.
And we've only just started the episode.
Oh, I know.
It's going to be juicy.
I was going to say, I was like, hang on a minute.
Yeah, post-purchase flow, and also the 65 to 70% around repeat customers,
Yeah.
and how important they are for your brand going into another year of growth.
Yeah, definitely.
So we've touched on automation, we've touched on high converting flows and funnels. Let's talk about automation versus broadcasting. Now, what do I mean when I say broadcasting?
Your campaigns?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do we mean by campaigns?
So like your newsletters, you're kind of, we've got a new product live, or, did you know this about the brand? Just kind of those more, the ones that kind of fill your inbox a little bit more.
Yeah, so they are more reactive marketing. And what do they normally cover?
They normally cover new products, how to buy, something new in the business, a new blog post, anything like that. That's something that's going on kind of right now. They could be seasonal as well. So kind of covering the now.
Yeah.
The news of the business.
Yeah, exactly. So then if you have automation sat around that, and then you do regular newsletter sends, and on average we say bi-weekly.
Yeah.
Dependent on the size of your database, dependent on, you know, what you've got to talk about and market. Bi-weekly works really well out of peak season.
Yeah.
I think when you go into peak season, that might need sort of readjusting. But again, a really fundamental touch point for your customers, because that is your chance to tell them about new things and tell them about company updates. Whereas your automation is where the personalization comes in.
Yeah.
Where are they in that customer journey with you? What are they, or what do you want them to do in your business? But I think when we talk about flows and automation versus campaigns and broadcasting, two very different things. Again, another key point to say is if your welcome flow doesn't convert, your ads just fund your competitors.
Yeah.
And what do I mean by that?
Well, because you're paying to get a customer in,
Yeah.
and then they're going somewhere else. Because if your welcome flows aren't getting you purchases,
They're going to look for that
you're
same
getting spends
thing.
on ads.
Exactly.
And then you're just losing money because they're not making the purchase.
So Phoebe, spend £50 on ads and you're only going to get one purchase from a customer. What's happened to the other 20,000 that have seen it from that £50 ad spend? I mean, I wish it was that cheap, but it's not.
We can dream.
But what's happening to those other customers? And that is where your welcome flow is so key to that.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. If you don't have that set up and you've got ads on, you are losing your audience.
Yeah.
And that's
That's
basically...
expensive, isn't
yeah,
it?
it's expensive. And also, you might as well chuck it away.
Yeah. It's literally just a waste of your time.
It's a waste of time and it's a waste of money.
Don't do ads without email.
Yeah, I know.
Literally.
So the second sort of part to this episode that I wanted to touch on is we work a lot with brands, founder-led brands, smaller brands. We work really closely with them.
Yeah.
We love them. We love feeling like we're an extension to their team.
Yeah, definitely.
Which we definitely are. And we bring all of our energy to that as well, which I love. I've got this great idea. Just hear me out. But I think why do founders under invest in email is a massive one to touch on. And Laura, you've had lots of these conversations this year already. I've had lots of them. And I'm going to start off with a really good example. And I'm not going to name any names, but I was in a meeting and it was, well, I don't open emails, so my customers aren't going to open our emails. And I was like, that's definitely not true. And we need to unpack that and we need to dig into that in a little bit more detail.
Email wouldn't work.
Yeah, it's like, let's turn off all marketing because it clearly doesn't work because I don't look at it.
Yeah.
That's so bizarre.
I think the point to that that's really important to note is email is a slower channel.
Yes.
If we turn ads on, what do we see?
You see instant money,
Instant
don't you?
revenue,
Like,
You see instant results, instant money, instant people
you
seeing
can
your
scale
ads.
and you can like drop it down very, very quickly. can't
Yeah,
you? Like,
you can turn the lever up, you can turn it down like
See what's working, see what's not.
really quickly.
literally like that.
Email is a slower game.
Yeah.
It's not as slow as SEO. Don't
No.
get me wrong. That is very slow and not our favourite channel. And I'm putting that out there. But it is slow. And
It
when I
is,
say
yeah.
it's slow, that's because it needs setup.
Yeah.
It needs really good foundation setup. But then also you need to warm up your audience.
Yeah.
So again, what do we mean by audience warming up?
So that's your database. It's getting them used to it. And especially, I think we've seen a lot more where we've had kind of clients that have moved from one platform to the other. We use Klaviyo and obviously it literally tells you like your account is 40% warm, your account is 50% warm because the account is learned, like the data is being like kind of learned as to who's opening, who's clicking, who's buying.
Yeah.
Who's not even like engaging at all? Do they need to be segmented out? But you can't segment people out until your database is warm enough to know this information.
Yeah. And how do we warm up a database? What helps with that warming process?
So it's sending, like having the flow set up, sending those campaigns, starting to segment little bits of where you can. Obviously, you can't segment out and engage for the past year because you might not have that data.
Yeah.
But as soon as you can, starting to kind of filter as much as you can and really start to kind of niche down, not sending out just blanket emails.
Yeah. And the other part to help with that warming process as well, and not all platforms have this warming period, if you like.
Yeah.
Yes, it's best practice. Yes, it should happen.
Yeah.
But not all platforms take you through that process, which is why we love Klaviyo. But deliverability is huge.
Oh my God, it's massive.
So what do I mean by deliverability? I mean when an email lands in an inbox, does it go into your junk?
Yeah.
How do you help with deliverability? So again, I don't think we've got this technical before about emails.
No,
so I'm
this
quite
is very
excited.
technical. Going into deliverability is technical.
I feel like I need my glasses on so I can get
like
really
this.
geeky and talk
That's why
about
we do
email
test
tech.
emails, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I'm going to
'Cause you-
say, test emails are so important.
Yeah, test them. And from a deliverability perspective, it's as simple as, are you sending from your URL?
Yeah.
I.e., are you sending from, and I'm going to use Popcorn Kitchen as a great example, hello@popcornkitchen.co.uk.
Yeah.
Or are you sending from, I don't know, sales at,
Yeah.
info at, admin at? If you don't have that domain at the end, that deliverability, that branded weight that is going into that inbox will affect your deliverability. Other things that affect your deliverability are image sizes. Phoebe, when we create images for emails, we have to optimize the size of them, don't we?
Yeah, and you don't also want to put an email just full of images, because obviously you can put text on images and stuff and input them all, but then you don't want that because you don't know the loading speeds and stuff.
Say,
and
has
also
anyone
the
ever
words
opened
aren't read
an
on the
email?
image. Yeah,
You open it and you're like, wow, there is nothing here.
Yeah. And again, that is why.
and then you're out.
Yeah, I'm not
and,
waiting.
And that is why I see emails a lot that are just one image and they're built as an image with text in the
you-
image.
they look
you
amazing.
see it on massive brands. Like I see it all the time in my inbox. I'll open something.
It really makes me angry.
And I'm just like, why am I sat here waiting for that?
Yeah, like you were trying to get my attention, not the other
I'm
way
just
around.
staring
It
at a
makes
blank
me
page.
cross.
Yeah.
Because that is bad email marketing.
It feels quite lazy.
Bad and lazy email marketing is when it's one image in a campaign
It might
and
look
you just
nice,
send it
but you
out.
can't see it.
That's the thing. It
So-
looks great, and like
Once
if we
it's
were to send
loaded.
it to a client, we'd be like, "Look at this screenshot of this wonderful design," and they'll go, "Yeah, it's great."
That's just not right.
but
though.
it's not right. Like
It's not right.
it'll anyone could do it. I think that's the issue. That's the simple way to do it because you're not having to build the blocks in a platform. It is just a copy and paste job.
Yeah. And
So-
also, if you go into the likes of a Canva now, you can build them in there.
And then there's templates.
There's
They're done.
templates. But again, another piece of massive advice from today's episode, do not just use images in campaigns. If you think about the stats around how many people receive emails without images turned on, it's high. It's significantly high. Is your email optimized for that plain text version if images are off? It absolutely needs to be. Again, a lot of these platforms do that.
Yeah.
But you do need to optimize
But even
it.
things like making sure that your image has got alt text on it as well is really, really important.
Yeah, it's so important because what happens with an alt text, if the image is off, then the alt text shows.
Yes.
Like, it's not rocket science.
Yes.
I mean, it is. And then I guess the other part too, why founders underestimate, and I am going to say underestimate, and brands, not just founders, why do founders and brands underestimate Google, email? That was talking about deliverability.
I was going to say, you're skipping on a bit there.
I know. Is thinking about discounts. And I think that's a massive conversation that I have a lot. Laura, I know you have a lot, is around we don't want to give loads of discounts because that affects our bottom line, that affects our margins and affects our profits. So is there a balance?
Definitely. And it's about being strategic with a discount because if you do discount heavy, no one's going to go onto your website naturally and buy. And I am only, as a customer, I'm going to be sat waiting for that discount email.
And I think it does cheapen the brand slightly.
Yeah.
Because your audience then know what to expect. So they're not going to purchase as naturally as they would because they're like, I know I'm going to get a discount.
Yeah, but then I think that's where the skill comes in of going, right, okay, what's a really peak time? So we don't want to put a discount then, or do we? So do you have like things like Valentine's Day? Do you put a discount? Do you not? Mother's Day? Do you, like, where do they fit in nicely? Or where might a discount work that you've tried and tested?
Yeah.
Work on your email database because they are already invested in the brand and it treats them a little bit more like VIPs.
Yeah.
So it gives them that exclusivity that they're not getting. The same offer isn't on the website for everyone.
Yeah, socials
this is actually like, oh, you know what?
Yeah.
We want to treat you for being like with us, being immersed in our brand.
Yeah.
Things around, I think really good examples are around like New Year. We found them worked really well. Just doing even like a simple like, you know what? We've really loved you being here this year.
Yeah,
So
thank
sticking
you.
with like literally just saying, thank you. Here's free delivery.
Rather
for the
than
next
New
week.
Year, here's a sale.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
simple things like here's free delivery. We saw a massive uplift in that over for one of our clients around New Year.
Yeah.
And it was the most simple, just real personal email than being like, thank you for a great year.
Yeah. Because, and as well, these customers don't need to be there. They don't need to be opening your emails. So you need to remember email is there to add value.
Yeah.
Always add value. And how are you adding value? But just going back to your discounts point, again, always test that.
Yeah.
Does a discount work over not discounting? If you have a discount, say an email with a discount in and one without, what does that then mean to your bottom line? Again, test all of that.
Yeah.
Really read the data, because the data won't lie. The data will tell the truth. The data will tell you if those discounts are working and if you're seeing an uplift in revenue, if you're seeing an uplift in click rate, open rate, whatever that is. So there's a lot in there to think about, but I think just test it.
Yeah.
Like really, really test it. And I guess when we talk about, you know, brands using email, why is it underestimated? My number one word of advice, and I'm literally going to say it so loudly, and I could stand on the top of like Sainsbury's or Tesco and say this and shout it. Where is she going?
It's like so specific. I'm going to Sainsbury's and I'm standing on the roof.
Is traffic, as in traffic from ads, does not fix weak retention. No. If your retention model is not set up properly, if the foundations are not working, are not driving revenue, traffic will not fix that.
No.
People won't remember you.
That is it.
I'm going to say, they're just going into an abyss, aren't they?
Yeah. And one of my favourite examples this week, okay, so we're based in Exeter. Yeah. We've got a lovely Sweaty Betty store that's just landed, not food and drink related, but I went into the store, I purchased something. She asked for my email address at the desk.
You're like, I know what you're doing.
And I thought, you know what? You can have it. Because I love Sweaty Betty, right? So
it feels like giving a piece of you away, doesn't it?
It does a little bit.
Before it was more, I'm just going to shove my email in.
Like, I think
now
it's like,
and now
I don't want
it's
another
a bit
email.
more, because inboxes are so
it's more considered, I think. So she asked my email. She was like, do you want a printed receipt or do you want to emailing to you? I was like, I'll have it printed. So then I thought, they're not going to email me. I literally had left the store, opened the door to leave.
Thank you for your purchase.
I had 2 emails. Welcome to Sweaty Betty. Yeah. I felt so loved and happy that they knew I was just literally leaving the store. Bear in mind I was in work head though, so I was checking my emails really regularly. But then literally I got home in the evening and I had another email to say, I hope you enjoyed your first purchase. We'd love you to come back into the store. Here's a discount. And I was like, how do I feel about that? But I tried the products on, loved the packaging, loved the experience. I would go back at that time because it's not a consumable product.
Yeah.
So different industries,
definitely
different timings. I think there's definitely room for making your customer feel special in a really personalized way using email, but you have to get your timing right.
Yeah, definitely.
Really important. And I love the emails that much that I sent them to both of you.
Yeah, you
I was going to say, they also landed in my inbox.
I just thought it was really important to share. It was just like, visually, I thought, these emails look great. And they were really simple. There was so much white space. It wasn't screaming and shouting at you. But that, to me, is a brand that market themselves really, really well. Especially from an email perspective.
So everybody go and sign up to Sweaty Betty emails, I suppose.
Go and sign up. If you want a discount code for 20% off, let me know.
Not sponsored at all.
I can share it in the show notes. But yeah, things like that. I think as well, you know, whichever industry you sit in, food, drink, non-food and drink, it's really important that you are looking at the market space. Like sign up to other people's emails, sign up to your competitors. Yeah, we do that all the time. Yeah. It's great. I think it's a really good way of looking at.
Yeah, you need to know what's going on, don't you?
100%, 100%. So, okay, so we've touched on automations. We've touched on why brands and founders might not necessarily want to use email, what the misconceptions might be in those awkward conversations that we love to have. And then the third part that I wanted to touch on was list growth. So again, clients come to us, we've got 20, 30,000 database K, probably 10% of those open and click and are warm and nurtured. But how do we grow an email database effectively? And there's multiple ways.
Yeah,
so over to you. You're now both email pros, right?
I mean, I'm just going straight to a socials perspective we do a lot of giveaways. So that's a way that we found works really well.
Yeah.
So we tend to tie in social and email giveaways together, so it works cross-platform. So you can get a lot of your people that are on socials and a lot of your audience there into your database, because obviously they're following you, they know you, but they might have not necessarily have gone to your email. So that's a really good way to do it, because then obviously it works vice versa as well, because you've got your email database on socials through that as well.
Yeah.
And I think I was going to tie into
With
that, doing it.
collaborations.
Yeah, going to say do it as a collaboration with another brand, because then you've got
Shared database.
shared database. You both can push the giveaway as hard as you want, and then come the end of it, the two brands, the multiple brands that are doing it, will share that database, and then it's a win for everyone because you're all growing.
Yeah.
So that's a really, really it's a quick fix way,
And it's bigger
a
growth
cheap
as
way.
well, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
it's not being shown to just your audience.
Yeah.
Then,
Yeah.
Is it? It's
Exactly.
and yeah,
that.
like you said, it is
As long
it's a
as the
cheaper
giveaway
way to do
works.
it. It's a
Yeah.
lot cheaper way than anything else.
And I think we've seen over the years that some brands don't like competitions.
No.
It's like, oh no, it's
Does
like
it
the thing
doesn't
we
feel luxurious enough.
It's like the thing we never talk about.
Yeah.
We don't like competitions, and I'm like, but it's a really quick way
and
to
you
grow
can
your
do them
email
really.
list.
I'm not saying do a social giveaway every
Every
month.
month,
Like,
no.
doesn't need to be that. Be really strategic with them. Find brands that really align with you,
That have a really big
that
audience.
have a really big audience. But do like a big one. Come, like, think of spring coming up. Do like a summer picnic
Yeah.
giveaway, and have, cheese brands, wine brands, bread, like
multiple brands.
all of these brands, and who like. Then I'm more likely as a customer to be like, oh my God, I want to enter that.
it feels more luxury of a thing to enter,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
yeah.
Because you see them all the time.
Yeah,
the
I don't
brands
just want to
doing
win
them.
one of your products.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give my data away for that. I think that's the thing, to get me to give
Or
my
the
email
effort
away.
of doing it.
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
like I've got to click, I've got to do this.
It's got to be
Oh.
something desirable. I
Whereas
think
Yeah.
if I'm winning like a picnic hamper full of stuff,
you're like that is
Lauren,
value.
you're all over it.
I'm all over it. Basically, I would really like a picnic hamper
Yeah.
full of food, is what I've got here.
For the rain that we've got in Devon. at the
Anyone
moment.
wanna do a giveaway?
Wait to go for a picnic, everyone. I'm going to invite you all.
in a really grey, dreary February.
With an umbrella
Yeah.
and a coat.
Dream on.
And I think that's a really, really important point, isn't it? Because yes, it's a really quick way to grow your database.
Yeah.
A really, really quick way. It's a really cost-effective way
Yeah.
to grow your database, because you're technically only giving away product. There is a bit of development time in the back end to create the landing
Yeah.
page and to create, whether it's a pop-up or whatever it might be from a Klaviyo perspective. But there is a flip side to that, and there is a softer way to do that. So if you think about downloadable assets.
Yeah.
What do I mean by that? Recipes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like little freebies that people can take away. That
Yeah.
you're not just gonna, send in an email or something that people can get from you.
Like, I would want to sign up because I'm like, oh yeah, I want to know
Exactly.
It's like a piece of useful
Yeah.
information.
Useful content, whether it's a guide, whether it's a recipe. So again, I'm going to use one of our favourites, Jane's Patisserie.
Yeah.
She creates fantastic
I
recipes.
was on her website last week.
Oh, I love her website.
I made some banging cookies.
Did you?
Sorry.
Ooh.
Carry on.
Wow.
And
Cookies?
obviously, I'm just going to drop out there that we did do her website. So,
So it
I
is
mean,
a
it
great
is the best
website.
one out there. But
I
again,
know exactly where you're going.
Jane's Patisserie, Poppy Cooks, both of those, do really good recipes.
Yeah.
That's a really good example of how could they grow their email list. Actually, they could use recipes, they could use guides, they could use giveaways, they could use that content that they've got. And that's almost, from a brand perspective, a softer way
Yeah,
of getting
definitely.
email signups, instead of going, enter this competition, it's really shiny, it's really fun, come here. Yes, you'll probably get a better uptake. But if you're a brand,
How to get kind of constant uptake
Yeah.
is things like those clickable links,
Yeah.
isn't it?
exactly. If you're a cheese brand, could you give away cheese recipes? Which, if you think about that full funnel, download the cheese recipe, then they might be in an automated flow that 3 emails down the line, you go, here's the cheese I've used in the recipe.
Yeah.
Again, just try and be really clever with it.
Yeah.
I think there's really, really good ways of growing your email database without just going, I need to turn ads on.
Yeah.
Which probably takes us into, do ads help grow your email database?
Yeah.
Yes, they
Yes.
do. And what do we mean by that?
So that is where they help grow that welcome flow in theory, don't they? So that is where if you've got a 10% off, for example, you'll have the add-on that is saying 10% off your
off
first
if you sign up.
purchase.
Yeah.
And that gets people in because they're instantly hooked. They're learning about your brand. They're also getting a discount. You're really like capturing two things that they might want.
Yeah.
And obviously ads can like actually find people that do want to buy.
Yeah.
Audience,
So therefore they're going to be easier to then get into your emails, then become a loyal customer.
Yeah, exactly that. And I think my question that I'm going to ask our listeners, and I'd love to
Ooh.
hear listeners answers, and I'd love to get people messaging us about this, because again, this is a question I've asked our clients this week like 4 or 5 times over, is what percentage of your traffic are you actually keeping?
Mm-hmm.
I get 50,000 visitors to my website every month. I keep 10% of those in my email database. And that question in 2026 is so, so important.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm putting it out to listeners. I want to hear it. I want my DMs filled with answers. I want the comments of this pod when it goes out to be filled with those answers, because that is a question that brands and founders don't answer enough.
Yeah.
It's a really simple one, but it's a really important one.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that probably takes us to the end of, which I'm really sad because I could talk
Your
about
most favourite
I think we
episode
should
ever.
probably wrap this episode up soon.
Yeah, and look, we've done an email episode before. We haven't got as techy as this.
No, this
I
one
feel
was
like
a lot
we've
more
gone
of
a
a deep
little
dive.
bit deeper. So if we've lost you in this episode,
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry, but please go back to one of the previous email episodes we've done, because that was a little bit more light touch. This is probably a secondary to that,
Yeah,
and a little
definitely.
bit deeper around what to do. My hot take for today, though,
Ooh.
email is not dead. Anybody that
No
tells
way.
me the email is dead, please just don't tell me that.
Please
because,
leave.
yeah, it really makes me cross. Email is not dead. It needs to be driving 30% of your revenue in your business if you're an e-coms brand. If it isn't, make sure it is and dig into why it isn't.
And download our email playbook.
And
Yeah,
download our email playbook.
Go on, girl.
I know.
So
I was
what
just
is that, Phoebe?
So that is our free downloadable asset that you can get on our website, which is basically a little one-stop thing of how we've grown one of our clients' campaigns and gives the exact strategy that we use.
Yeah, exactly. So that is around, so the playbook basically gives our tips, tricks on how to generate income from your email channel. It was 55k of revenue that we did for one of our clients, and it's the exact strategy on how we did that.
Yeah.
Go and download it. It's a really good starting place in terms of listening to this and going, okay, I just have no idea where to start.
Yeah.
That is just a good starting point. Download it. Well, listen to our episodes, then download it because it gives you that framework on what to do.
And do you know where else you could probably learn more about email?
Go on.
No, even bigger.
Go on.
Where are we going?
There's a little event that we're putting together coming soon.
Yes.
When this episode comes out, it still won't be fully announced, but you may have seen it on our
Ooh.
socials that we are doing our live event, Fuel Live, coming back in 2026. And
I am personally so excited.
I feel like we could do like a whole episode just talking
It's like
about...
our Christmas.
I feel like it's our Christmas. So what
Do
is...
we all get a present?
Yeah, well, maybe.
Hang on.
I think you get quite a lot of presents throughout the year.
I want one at Fuel. I'm excited now.
Noted, Laura. So Fuel Live is our flagship event. It's a half-day marketing event. It's where we give away all of our insights, all of our knowledge.
Bet you can't guess what Kate will be talking about.
Email marketing. I'm so excited as well. I'm so excited. But last year we had 50 people in the room.
Yeah.
This year it's going to be bigger. We are going bold with what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But this is where we break down all of this stuff in detail in person.
Yeah, you get to ask those questions real time, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. So like Laura says, we haven't announced the details yet. We're teasing everybody about it. We can't wait. We've got some amazing, amazing things up our sleeve for
It's going to
Fuel.
be big.
It's going to be happening really, really soon. I'm pretty sure when this episode drops, we're just about an announcement
it will be
stage.
Literally
Yeah.
trickling in.
So excited. I can't wait. So yeah, absolutely, Laura. Well done for dropping that in, because it is one of the biggest things that
Gonna
we're
say
doing
it's
this
quite
year.
big.
Yeah, it's pretty big. But I guess that wraps
I
us
feel
up.
like let's leave on that good high note there.
Episode 19,
Done.
we're done.
Yeah.
Smashed it.